You might be killing your weight loss efforts because you're doing one of these three things. Let me explain. Hey, what's up? It's Rick Thompson with Fit and Over 30, and nothing is more disappointing or frustrating than working out and not seeing any physical change. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 key things that are keeping you from losing that weight, and the last one is going to shock you. So stick with me so you don't derail your weight loss efforts. Let's go. Now, the first mistake you're making is you're overeating. And I know, you're like, what do you mean I'm overeating? That's so broad, Rick. Well, let me explain. When you decide to sit down and eat something, how do you make sure it's actually the exact number of calories per serving that's stated on the food label? Because you can't just eyeball it and go, hey, that is exactly 130 calories right there. It doesn't work like that. There's no way that you are estimating that correctly with your eyeballs. The solution to that is you do weigh everything out, and it's on a food scale, and it's going to tell you exactly the number of calories it is because you're going to weigh it down to the gram. Food scales are so important. It was such a big part of my weight loss journey personally. I couldn't have lost 82 pounds by eyeballing everything that I ate. I would have either starved myself to death or I would have vastly continued to overeat and continue to gain weight. There's nothing more frustrating than working out 7 days a week, an hour a day, as hard as you can, really putting in the effort, time, and energy, going to the gym just to not be in a caloric deficit because you didn't weigh it out, or because you were eyeballing and saying, yeah, that looks like it's 150 calories. Let me give you an example. Let's take a cheeseburger, 96 foreground beef, and let's take a salad. Which one do you think is more calorically dense? Well, if you said the cheeseburger, you'd be wrong. The salad's more calorically dense because once you add up the actual contents of the salad and you add the salad dressing on top, there's actually more fat in that salad than there is in that cheeseburger. Crazy, right? That's the importance of the food scale, and that's why we weigh everything out. Now, the next thing you're doing is you are grossly overestimating the calories that you're actually burning when you work out. For example, I'm actually currently walking on the Peloton treadmill right here, right now. And unless I actually have an accurate heart rate monitor that's telling me how many calories I'm actually burning, like my Apple Watch. Unless you're using a Fitbit, an Apple Watch, something of that nature, most likely you are grossly overestimating the number of calories you're burning. And if you go to the gym on a regular basis, the last thing you want to do is trust that cardio machine that says, hey, I burned 500 calories for doing a 15-minute walk on a treadmill. So the solution is track the calories that you're burning. Now, I really like the Apple Watch because the data is also fairly accurate because it's actually going off your heart rate. You know how hard your heart's working, and therefore it's giving you a relatively accurate number for the number of calories you are actually burning. And this is going to help you stay in a caloric deficit, which is the key to losing weight. Now, this third key piece, everybody makes this mistake. I made it most of my life until about a year ago. And the mistake is you got to weigh yourself at the same time every day. I recommend that you weigh yourself in the morning because in the morning you're going to be dehydrated and you're probably going to get the most accurate reading then. So when I wake up in the morning, what I do is I will go to the bathroom and then I will step on the scale, and that's going to give me the most accurate reading. And the reason you want to do it like this and be consistent with your timing on it is because if you just decide to weigh yourself at random times throughout the day or throughout the week, you're gonna get different readings. And let me show you my screen on this actual scale because this is a smart scale. The link is going to be in the description below. So this actual scale right here is called the Rimfo Scale. And the cool thing about this scale is it weighs me the data for my body fat percentage, for how much water's in my body, my weight. It all goes into an app where I can track the data and look at the trends. You can actually see that my weight fluctuates over the course of the month. If I'm weighing myself at night after I've eaten, I'm going to get a completely different reading than if I weighed myself in the morning. So I use the Rimfo app to track all of this. That way I get accurate readings. For example, if I was to weigh myself at these peaks, and that's the only time I'd weighed myself, when I weighed 220.4 pounds, and then the next day I weighed 223.4 pounds. So if you're not weighing yourself at the proper times, you're going to lose that motivation because your weight's going to fluctuate and you're going to get different readings and it's going to throw you off. And you can't go off 2 data points per week. You need a data point per day, preferably in the morning. That way you are making the best decisions, because without the knowledge and without tracking where you're at, then you have no idea where you're going. Now remember, none of this even matters if you don't know what your BMR is or if you don't know how to track it. What did he say? BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. And if you want to know why that's important and how to track it, you're going to want to click the next video that's going to pop up on your screen either here or here in just a minute. Thanks so much for watching the video. And remember, age is just a number.
Rumor has it, I'm a savage. Drop the classic. Thinking back, drop the classic. To establish that the magic is automatic. Gotta